This time on Kratts Creatures. Chris and Martin will take a fantastic journey across Africa and time on a scientific mission. To discover the truth about Panthera leo, the lion.
Chris and I will do anything to dig up the truth about the African lion.
We know that the lion is one of the creature world's most famous animals.
He's known as a powerhouse of strength,
A fierce and toothy predator.
and a master of the hunt.
But is the lion really the king of beasts?
Or is that just hype?
We'll sink our teeth into that question and a lot more on Kratts Creatures.
Zimbabwe, Malawi, Tanzania. Where'd I put that map? Africa's got an incredible number of creatures spread out over a whole bunch of countries. Botswana, Kenya. That's the one I was looking for. Chris and Martin said they were going to...
The dawn of man. Man's earliest days on Earth are shrouded in a great deal of mystery.
What's this?
The dawn of man. Man's earliest days on Earth are shrouded in a great deal of mystery. We know how he survived and evolved, but we don't know what he thought. But we do know one thing. That early man felt the need to explore his world. No matter how confused, weird, and let's face it, funny-looking he was, that early man was inquisitive. He was awed by the wonder of the natural world, and he expressed his wonder in many ways. Before long, he developed the ability to capture the majesty of animals in his art. And in his storytelling.
And that's how warthog become smartest bees.
Okay, so he and his pals weren't rocket scientists, but they were into creatures, and in their eyes, some animals held greater fascination than others. I'll explain it this way. Since humans began telling stories, myths, and fairy tales, they've assigned human-like traits to animals, like the snake, who we're told is deceitful and crafty, or the owl, who we're told is wise and all-knowing, the elephant, who we're told never forgets, and wolves, who we're told howl at the moon. But no creature has been more talked about and mythologized as Panthera leo, the lion.
Lions? This is going to be absolutely cool. I mean, of all the big cats in Africa, lions are definitely one of the most amazing. The crowning achievement of super catdom. Lions aren't the biggest cat in the world. The Siberian tiger holds that title. But clocking in at up to 550 pounds, lions are no lightweight contenders. In fact, the lion is the top predator of the savannah. He's numero uno, predator number one, hunter supreme, the hunting cat's hunting cat. His size, power, and amazing predatorial skill means that he's got no end of dining options. He can eat anything from antelope, zebras, wildebeest, up to giraffes. Few animals are safe from a lion attack. Combine his hunting reputation with his feline grace and beauty, and it's real easy to agree when people call the lion the king of the beasts.
Hold it!
What's wrong?
What's all this king of the beast stuff? Since when do creatures have kings and queens?
It's just an expression, Ttark. You know, one of those human things, like queen bee.
Lion? King of the beasts? So hyenas are what? The court jesters? Leopards, the fashion consultants of the savannah? It's ridiculous. Hey, I love the lion. I would never say anything bad about them. Not when they're around, anyway. It's just this king of the beast stuff has gotta go. Talk about creature misconceptions.
And that's what we're gonna do. Clear up those misconceptions. And the way we're gonna do it is by first finding, then going on the prowl with a bunch of lions. Well, actually, lions live in groups called prides, and they survive in a variety of habitats throughout Africa. In order to find them, you need a good creature gene, and you have to be smart, careful, and quiet. Because if you're not quiet, you could scare away the lion's dinner, which is exactly what we don't want to do. Because over behind those bushes is a whole herd of impala. And they could be our best chance of finding the lions.
Impala are one of the lion's favorite prey, and with so many around, you never know.
Lions could be nearby, staking them out, waiting to attack.
I think something's up. They seem nervous. Bingo! Lions at 2 o'clock. They must be on the hunt.
Yeah, the pride often splits up into groups of 2 or 3 to hunt.
It's going down. The lions are moving in, setting up their ambush.
Hey, but the impala knows something's up, and I bet they won't stick around to find out what it is. They're out of there.
I gotta admit, when you see creatures like impalas trying to get away from a lion, it just doesn't seem fair. But if you think about it, lions don't have it all their own way. A healthy impala can zig a lot faster than a lion can zag.
It's amazing what a little zigzagging can do.
Zigzagging is a great means of defense. It can make the job of a predator a lot harder.
You see, taking down prey is all about knowing where your prey is going to move next.
And if your prey is zigging and zagging all over the place, their next move can be pretty hard to predict.
And the faster you can run and zigzag, the better chance you have of escaping a predator like a lion.
That gives healthier, faster prey an edge on survival.
So when the lion catches its dinner, it gets the slow, old, or sick animals, which means only the fastest and fittest survive.
A lot of animals out here are lion bait, but each of them has their own way of evading the lion.
Zebras are patterned and power-packed.
Their pattern's a cool form of camouflage that blurs their form together with the rest of the herd, confusing the lions.
Their power is packed into their haunches, giving them explosive speed.
If they need to, they can boot out of trouble at 50 miles per hour.
One thing's for sure, you have to keep your eyes and ears open out here.
This wildebeest has spotted a lion. Now, you might think the first thing he'd do is run, but he'll actually approach a lion and sometimes even follow him.
That's because the chances of a successful hunt are much lower if the lion has lost the element of surprise.
The wildebeest has come really close to the lion. He's just staring at him. As long as he knows where the lion is, he's safe.
So now, the wildebeest is going to move on. The danger's over. With the element of surprise lost, the lions have lost interest. Warthogs, on the other hand, rely on communication like grunting to warn other hogs of approaching predators.
And if danger is near, a mom gives a warning call, telling her young, "Come on, kids, let's get out of here!" But there's another way warthogs deal with predators.
You know that old saying, you can run, but you can't hide? Well, that's true for a lot of creatures, but for others, like the warthog, it's another story. They go underground. Except warthogs can't dig their own burrows. They have to find an abandoned aardvark hole.
When warthogs detect a predator, they go into red alert and bomb for the burrows. Mom goes into the burrow after her young, turning around to defend the burrow's entrance hole with her tusks, because a hungry lion will sometimes take the trouble to try and dig a warthog out of its burrow. And it's not just the prey who are frightened of lions. All the other predators have to keep a sharp eye out as well.
That's absolutely right. Lions have to compete with hyenas, leopards, and cheetahs for food.
Because the name of one of the games out here on the savannah is holding on to lunch.
Lions will steal food from hyenas, leopards, or cheetahs.
But that doesn't make the lion their king. These guys are not pushovers.
Definitely not. They all have their own strengths that let them compete for food. The hyena has pack strength.
The leopard has stealth on her side.
And the cheetah has unmatched speed.
Hyenas are one of the most successful predators out here.
They operate in hugely efficient packs and are fierce hunters and really crafty scavengers too.
Now, lions will steal food off hyenas.
But then, hyenas are just as likely to steal food off of the lions.
You know, if all this stealing of food sounds underhanded, you gotta remember that the only rule out here is eat what you can.
Any way you can.
Now, if a lion tries to steal a leopard's food, she does the smart thing. She lets him have it.
That is smart. Better to lose your lunch than your life.
But to avoid that happening, she drags her catch up into the trees where lions and hyenas can't get it.
That's even smarter. The cheetah is the smallest of the big cats out here. And because of that, he really can't put up much of a fight.
But that's cool. These cats are built for speed. Achieving maximum velocity is what they do best.
That's right. No animal can run faster than a cheetah. They're the land speed specialists, clocking up to 70 miles per hour.
That was amazing.
But the downside is that after all that, the cheetah's so tired that a lion could swipe his catch no problem.
Hold it. Sounds to me like we're still saying everybody's afraid of lions.
Hey, we didn't say everyone on the savannah was afraid of lions.
No, matter of fact, there are plenty of creatures out here who don't think about the lion at all. You know, I think we need a quick cutaway to illustrate this one.
If you want to see an animal who doesn't have to worry about lions, have a look down here. In the water, hippos are safe from lions, 100%. First of all, because they weigh about 7,000 pounds and have powerful jaws and huge canines. Second of all, because lions are pretty hopeless in the water. On land, adult hippos have been taken down by lions, but only very rarely. A baby hippo, though, is an easy mark for a lion. That's why a mother hippo watches her baby constantly and will defend him fiercely.
Or what about this creature? When it comes to being afraid of lions, he's way above it all. It's true that lions will hunt a baby elephant if they get a chance, but then they'll have to answer to not only his mom, but to the whole herd. If attacked, the herd circles the young, and if pressed, they'll charge. If they do, watch out. Elephants weigh up to 11,000 pounds, and they are serious towers of power.
And talking about power, there's a creature I can think of who the lion could never sink his teeth into. The Nile crocodile. The lion's no worry to this reptile.
The truth is, the savannah is full of all sorts of creatures who aren't afraid of lions. Like termites. These termites have no worries when it comes to lions. They build rock-hard mounds up to 14 feet high to protect them from predators and the elements. And even a lion will move out of the way in a hurry if a marching horde of vicious driver ants comes through. And then there's thousands of birds on the savannah who a lion could never get his paws on. Birds like this hornbill have a great defense against lions. They take wing and fly, but they still have to keep their eyes peeled for predators at all times. Even the lion's not immune to pesky flies.
That's nothing. In the old days, no one worried about lions because they were just these little itty-bitty guys that we all used to step on.
What? You trying to tell me that lions were once little?
Hey, who wasn't? Practically the whole gang started out as myocids back in the old Eocene days. I mean, bears, weasels, lions, all these creatures have myocids in their closet. But then by the Pleistocene period, everyone started to look different.
What was happening then?
Evolution mania! Rhinos with fur coats, giant deer, and this guy was the lion. Or at least an ancestral lion. This is Felis atrox. It means fierce cat for those of you not in the know.
Totally cool. That's what the lion used to look like.
And to see what the lion looks like today, all we have to do is get a good look through those bushes. Because we have found a whole pride of lions. The pride is resting now, but soon it'll be nightfall, and that means hunting time. Tonight, we're gonna join the lions on the prowl.
Nighttime on the savannah, and it's no time to sleep. The nocturnal predators are on the move, preparing for the night hunt.
The lions are rousing themselves and stretching their muscles. They seem a little restless.
They saved a lot of energy up from resting all day.
That looks like a yawn, but what he's doing is actually closer to smelling, sort of like tasting the air. It's called the flamen response.
Chris, the lions are heading out. Looks like they're trying to pick up signs of prey.
I think they found something.
It's a herd of impala. The search for the prey is over.
They're moving in, setting up the ambush. The impala's senses are telling them something's out there, but they don't know what.
Hey, this guy up front is going to chase the impala into an area where the lions are waiting, I bet.
And then they'll spring out and ambush them.
The chase is on! Whoa, they're breaking left!
Right into the jaws of a lion ambush.
Once the lions get their jaws around an impala's neck, it's all over.
Wow, we saw the lions at work.
And we saw them use their key to success, teamwork. That was pretty impressive.
What's more impressive is how quickly they'll devour their prey. Oh man, that's all that's left? Martin, it's morning, wake up.
They're on the move, let's go. Pride's killed a young male impala.
Wow, they're really chowing down.
Definitely.
This feast is a real free-for-all. They all get in there and try to eat as much as they can.
As you can see, feeding time is a first-come, first-served affair.
Sort of. If you're the biggest and strongest, you're first served. The rest, just get what they can.
This is amazing! It says here that it's the females, the lionesses, who make most of the kills, up to 90%. They're the greatest hunters of all. But the male still gets first dibs on all the grub. That sounds like a total ripoff. This can't be right. There's gotta be more to it than that. The guy gets all the glory for doing nothing?
Factual unreality, Al. Yeah, male lions contribute a lot more than most people think. They do help out with the hunting, especially with big animals like a buffalo. And once the kill is made, they defend the carcass from packs of hyenas. They also protect the pride from other male lions who try to take over the pride and kill the cubs. You know, there really is nothing more intimidating than the roar of a large male lion. Roar! That was awful, Martin. What, can you do better? Sure.
another way the lion gives a warning is with its mane.
Lions start growing their manes when they're about 3 years old and finish growing them at 5.
You know, their big fluffy manes do make them look kinda regal. Maybe that's where that king of the beast thing came from.
Maybe, but one thing's for sure, to another lion, a big mane can be intimidating, making him look large and powerful.
Lions often size up the other guy by checking out his mane. A big, healthy mane means a big, healthy lion.
And that means it might be better to back off.
And when lions do get into a scrap, their manes really come in handy, protecting the head and neck from claws and bites.
There's no question that with their huge roars, big manes,
and incredible size and power, lions are one intimidating creature.
Manes are pretty impressive. I mean, I know I'd be impressed. No, I'd be scared if a lion with a mane roared at me. But what still got me confused is this whole hyena-lion thing. I mean, how could a hyena possibly challenge a lion?
Well, hyenas are a lot bigger and stronger than they appear. They weigh up to 170 pounds, and their bodies pack a lot of power.
But the real hyena power secret is the old strength in numbers trick. A clan of hyenas is pretty fearsome.
These Impala know all about how fierce hyenas can be, and so do lions.
They've been stepping on each other's paws for years. Hyenas, lions, lions, hyenas. It's simple, El. Lions are big and strong, and hyenas are fast and fierce.
But I thought for sure a lion could take down a hyena.
A single hyena, but not a pack of hyenas. Don't forget, hyenas have one of the strongest jaws in the world. One chomp, growl, and you're minus a paw, or a leg.
So who usually wins?
What day is it? It goes back and forth, forth and back.
I guess they do have what it takes to mix it up with the lions.
No doubt about that. A lot of people think that hyenas are just cowardly scavengers who sneak around stealing other creatures' food.
Which is crazy. Hyenas aren't just scavengers. They are great hunters, too.
There's a lot of misconceptions about these guys. There's so much attention given to lions and so little to hyenas.
But one thing that does get a lot of attention is the rivalry between hyenas and lions, and there's no denying that is a reality.
Exactly. Because they're in such direct competition, lions and hyenas aren't exactly buddies. They'll even kill each other's young on sight.
I'm telling you, some nights on the savannah, you can't even sleep for all of the noise those two make at one another.
But did you know that one way lions and hyenas are similar is that they both live in groups? In fact, the lion is the most social of all the cats in the world. Their prides are made up of anywhere from 3 to 12 adult females, 2 to 4 adult males, and all sorts of cubs of varying ages. They do share territory, although they're rarely all together at once. But for big, fierce hunters, they're sure friendly when they meet. They'll rub their heads and bodies together, moaning and humming. You know, if that sounds familiar, it's because house cats do the very same thing.
One of the reasons living in a pride works so well for the lion is that it makes raising the cubs a whole lot easier.
Within the pride, the females become synchronized with their breeding, having their babies at the same time.
All the lionesses in the pride care for the cubs, sort of like daycare. When a lioness leaves for the hunt, she can trust other lionesses to care for her cub.
Cubs are born pretty helpless, and they won't start hunting till they're 11 months old.
Which gives them some time to play, rehearse, and practice the moves they'll be using when they're old enough to hunt.
But baby lions grow up. Big. Like 400 pounds and up. Think of that as the size of 2 hungry Chris's and 1 well-fed Martin.
So what we found out is that while lions definitely are one of the roughest, toughest creatures on the planet, they're still really not the king of beasts. And there are so many real reasons to think lions are cool, we don't need to make up any others. All you have to do is take a closer look, get to know them, and you'll see exactly what we mean.
So here we are again, lounging with the lions. Yeah, but you know, Chris, I hope nobody thinks that we've been knocking lions in the show.
Yeah, lions are amazing creatures. It's just that this King of Beasts title has got to go. The creature world doesn't have royalty.
Exactly. No creature is more important than another. And giving creatures human titles like kings and queens is just crazy.
And you know one thing about lions? I can see why they rest so much.
Yeah. All this activity in the hot sun is enough to tire anyone out.
One thing we forgot to mention is that lion yawning really is as contagious as they say. What do you think, guys? Guys? Guys, are you all right? Well, there's another mystery solved. That's why it's called a cat nap. So it turns out that although the lion might be a pretty good hunter, it doesn't rule supreme. But it's still one of the coolest animals around. And when you see it out in the wild, looking stately and regal and totally magnificent, it's not surprising people call it the king of the beasts.
The dusk of man. Dusk. A time when early man took to considering what he had learned that day. Especially what he had discovered about the creatures with which he shared the earth. Every day he learned more. He was beginning to find the wisdom to see the creatures as they really were, and not as others professed to see. Was the lion the king of beasts? Of course not. He knew better than that.
I do.
He knew that no creature was king. He knew.
Giraffe, king of beasts. I won.
No. He knew that no creature was king.
Flamingo?
Come on, buddy. Aren't you listening?
Frog?
You're out of here.
Slug?
Show's over, pal.